All right, let's talk about how to use Stackbit's visual site builder. So everything that we hover over here is completely editable. So if I come in here, I can just click on it and type in some new stuff. Same thing would go here. And I can also come in to swap out an image. So if I click on this little change button, we can swap this out to anything we might want. So let's just click save with this new image, and boom, now that's in there with the new image, which looks great. If I want to throw something away like this one here, like a link, I can just click on this little trash button. It'll remove it from the screen. And if I want to add in a button next to this, I can click here and add a button, and there it is. So let's say I wanted to actually swap the way that these buttons are set up. I can just move this one to the left here, and now I've removed, kind of moved these sections around. So you'll see if you hover over one of the options here, you'll get the ability to move a lot of things back and forth on the screen. So like if you click on this, it'll give you that move left, move right button here once it's active. So let's now talk a little bit about maybe global styles. What should we talk about next? I guess we can go in here and we'll talk about the component styles. So we have styles that are related just to this one component itself, right? I can change something here. Let's add in a bunch of padding up above like this, and only this one hero component here gets this extra padding. Even though we may have more hero components on this page and other pages, only this specific hero component will get that extra padding. So I'll bring this back down because it looks a little funny, and we'll bring it down. I don't know where it was before, but we'll say 32. And so now we have this, maybe it was 112 was better. So we have the ability to move this kind of padding and margin. We can change the widths. We can make it smaller, larger, whatever we might want. And we also have the ability in here to swap the layout around. So if we wanted to, we can switch the image to the left or right. We can make things vertical. We can even swap it vertically. But I like it horizontal, so we'll bring it back to where we were before. We have the ability to align things, justify things, and we also have the ability to change things with actually the frame style, right? So you can see this border here that's purple. There's actually no border on this right now, right? It looks just white, but if I wanted to, I can come in here and actually give this a border. So if I click on frame styles, I'm going to give this an extra large border. I'm going to bring this up to 8 because I want to see it with 8. We're going to give it our primary color, and then we'll give it a style of solid. And now we'll see this come in, and there it is, right? Which looks kind of cool. So if I wanted to now, I can actually make this look a little bit more like a card. So if I wanted to, I can come in here and say like 56 and 56. And now we have this same exact hero component, but it's starting to look a little bit different, right? So we've kind of gone through these different the component styles, which are available here, but the other place that these are available is they're also available once you click this little edit icon in the pop out. We can click on styles here and we can start to change things around. So maybe I want to see what this looks like with blue text. And there it is, right? So now it looks kind of funny with blue text. Maybe we want to try a full blue background. Interesting. So now we have it with a full blue background. We can change all these around and look at the different swatches and how they actually look and feel. So I'll leave it with this full blue background. So where did these, when I clicked on the hero and we see, click on styles, we see all the styles options over here in this panel. Where did these actually come from, and how did these get instantiated? Great question. These are actually global styles, meaning if I change this blue color, it's going to change this wherever this blue color is used across the entire site. So if we see this, the blue here and the blue here, if we change this, the color of blue to like a pink, it's going to change this blue wherever it's used anywhere to pink. So let's go ahead and talk about global styles for a little bit. So if we wanted to, we can come in here and we'll start with the color palettes, but we have text styles, color palettes, and button styles. And the color palettes will really let us see what's happening here. So let's say I wanted to change this to hot pink. So let's do this hot pink. How hot can we make the pink? Great, so there it is, right? So now we have our pink, and down here it's pink and pink, right? This was blue before. This is a global style, so anywhere that the primary color is used will update it will update all things that use that primary color like that. Again, we don't have to use this background anymore. So let's say we don't like this with pink, we can come back in here and we can change it to be black. right? And if I wanted to, I can come in and change the border style and all that stuff as well. So I'm going to bring it back to pink. And one of the things that I look at when I look at the site right now is I see that there's this weird like background color here on the site. Like why is that? Where's that coming from? That's coming from our global styles, right? In our color palettes, we read each of these different variables. So one's called site background, and we'll just change this one to pure white. And once that's changed to pure white, now that's gone, right? And now this really starts to look like a card, like the way that we were wanting it to at the start. So we have this with color styles. We also have the ability with global styles. So if I make a change, this is our H1 on the hero section. If I make a change to this, and let's say we make it bold, you'll see it change to bold. Now this isn't just changing this H1 in this one component, it's changing every H1 across the entire site, right? So I actually don't know what each of these are. So I'm pretty sure we have a few H2s. So let's jump in here to the H2s, and I'm just gonna make it drastic. I'll make the H2s 9XL, and boom, that's an H2. And this is an H2, right? So it doesn't just happen on this page, it happens anywhere across the entire site that this is an H2. So obviously this looks a little crazy, but it gets the point across that if you want to change the style of an H2, you can come in here and it will change it across the entire site. And now we get some stuff that kind of looks a little different than what we were thinking before. So we want to make it all capital. Now they're all capitals. We can go back to default and leave them there. So you have the ability to change all the different fonts or text styles in a global way. And then the last kind of global styles that we can mess around with are our button styles. So out of the box, we give you two different button styles. And if I create a second button here, we'll see this one show up as button secondary, right? So these look a little bit different. So if I come in here to button primary, what I can do now is I can come in and change the font weight. So if I change this font weight to bold, we're going to see the font weight of bold change for all the button primaries. So this one's a button primary too, right? And if I wanted to change the this to capitals, we'll see it change to capitals, and we'll see this one change to capitals. The same thing will happen for the button up here. It's capitals and bold, right? So anywhere that this primary button is used across the entire site, it will keep it consistent with your brand styles. So we're messing around with these button styles here. Now let's say we wanted to change the color of these of this button. So right here, this one, it looks a little bit different because of the way that we set up the background here. It adjusts to it the way that we would want it to actually work. So if I make this back to this normal white background, which is what we're working with on the other it sets it as the same color here. What we would do here is to change this color is this is actually just set by the primary color itself, right? So if we come in here to color palettes and we change this to like a neon green, we can come in here and switch to our bright neon green. Yeah, there's more of a neon. Cool. And so now this is a neon green, right? And we could see this also switched because this is related to that primary color as well. And obviously we have all of our three buttons that we've been talking about are now with this kind of neon green. This looks like a little bit of Seattle Seahawks colors if you are a NFL football fan. I just watched a game last night, so it popped into my mind. So this is a little bit around how these button styles work. The other things that you can do in here with button styles is, let's say we wanted to change the horizontal padding. Maybe we wanted this to be like a really small one. So you could see like horizontal and vertical. This is getting narrower, top and bottom. And then we want to add in a quarter radius. So we'll add in a quarter radius and make it large. And now this looks really different. So now we have two button style options that you can use across your site, and you can choose which ones you might want to use. Now, if you need a third button style, we have a video in the playlist here that'll walk you through actually creating that in the code so that you can have a third button style to be able to use if that's needed as well. So that's how to work with those components. The other stuff here is, so if we don't click on anything and we just open this page here, we can see all the sections on our page right here. So if I wanted to move these sections around, so let's move the where did everyone go above love your work. So love your work's on top right now. I would just grab this one here and drag it up. And we'll do it one more time, and there we go. It didn't set. I dragged it a little too far. Great, so now this one's up on top, and our love your work is on bottom. That looks a little funny, so we'll take it back down, and now it's in the right place. Cool. So this is here. If we wanted to delete a section like this media gallery, if we didn't need it, we would just go here and click on the delete button, and that would delete it. I'm going to delete the, I think we have 2 of these. Yeah, so I'll delete one of these ones instead. Obviously, I can delete it by clicking on this. And if I click on this, you'll see I get all of this information here inside of the panel. So I just added a exclamation mark, and that exclamation mark is there. You can also see that inside, if I click on this feature highlight, and now I'm in the feature highlight section over here, there may be fields that aren't actually written yet or used, like this badge field, right? So if I click on it, it's going to add this is a badge. And then if I come back in here, I can actually add this is a subtitle, but it didn't exist yet, and we'll see it pop up. So boom, here's a subtitle, right? So you may want to explore this panel over here, because it's going to give you, it's going to show you all the options that are available, and some might actually not be used depending on the preset that you actually pick when you create a component. So you can see here there's multiple presets that I can choose. This is the same component. If I zoom in here, this is the same component. It just looks a little different. And you can massage this component using the style options that we showed to look however you might want. But this is just the starter that you can get for the preset, or what we call a preset when you add the component to the page. So we've kind of gone over this part here. Let's actually add a component to the page. So to do that, you'll click on Add Section, and we can come in and add anything we might want. We'll add in the hero section here, and we'll click on this one, and boom, now we have a hero section on the page, right? We can start to mess with this in the same ways that we wanted to. We can add the subtitles, like that's not there right now. We can change the badge text, whatever we might want, and make this look and feel how we would want it to actually look and feel. So that's how you add a component. The way that you add a new page is you would come in here, and we give you the ability to add a new page without any sections to it, or a page with a bunch of different layouts that are already there. I found that early on I like to use these page layouts because it gives me a kind of a look and feel that I might want to try to tweak a little bit. So let's say this one is about, and we'll go about. And if I click create page, this is going to create this new page, and it's going to make the slug, right, the page path about. We can also find the page path up here in our sitemap. So if you click on any of these, it'll navigate to this page. So if I click on careers, now we're on careers, I can go back to about, we're on about, and then if I click on the blog here, it'll give me all the posts underneath the blog as well. So inside of here, you can start to do the same editing type stuff where you can use styles. We can click here, we can go down into these styles, we can change this FAQ to be an ugly green, a crazy neon green, etc., etc. So we have the ability to do that. Down here we have a, we'll kind of get into the blog posts a little bit. So up here I showed you we have these blog posts, right? Which whatever, they're here and they're available. You can click on one, it'll take you here. So we also have here the ability to add sections that will show featured posts. So if I wanted to, I can add a featured post section like this, and I can come in and we'll just select this one here. And here it is, and it gives us these 3 out of the box. So what if I don't want these to be my 3 featured posts? What if I want it to be a different featured post? Well, to do that, all we're going to need to do is open this up here, and we can see inside of here, here are the posts, right? So if I want, maybe I don't want virtual benefits, so I'm going to remove it like this, and then I'm going to click in here, and I want to have the convert commute time to family time, and maybe I want to have another one in here as well. So when I added that, it actually took me to this post itself, the post item, which I can come in and change to whatever I might want to change, right? So if I wanted to change the title, I can add in that exclamation mark, which we've been showing in the past, and we'll see it show up here. This will also change the title on this blog post itself, right? This is the blog post. This is the full blog post itself here inside of the editor. So we'll come back, and maybe I want to add in a 4th one here, and inside of here, I'll do top 20 to save work. And now we have a 4th one. So now we have 4, right? But this looks kind of funny because I actually wonder if we do have the option to do 4, because I haven't tested this yet. But we have 3 and then 1 down here. It'd be nice if we had like 4 in a row. So to actually do that, we're gonna click back onto this featured post section, right? We're not in it. We're on this whole page now because we see here it says featured posts. So I'm gonna click on the featured posts, and then we're gonna come down here, and I think it's in styles. Yeah, in styles. And so we have the ability in styles to make it a 3-column grid or a 2-column grid. And this one is like a cards grid. So right now it's, and you can just mess with it and check out what they look like. So I'm going to do the 2-column grid. And this one looks a lot better, right? Because we have the we have 4, so we might want to use this one for these posts. If I wanted to try something else with the 3-column grid, obviously I can come back in here and we can try out the 3-column grid. So this you can mess around with these different arrangements as well. And I think I like this 2-column grid, so we'll leave that one in there just because it looks nicer. So this is how you can play around with these kind of featured posts and feature kind of different links to pages. There's a lot that you can do with that. The other things that I wanted to kind of showcase here was around the homepage. There was this media, this one right here. So inside a media gallery, you might be using this component and you might put in like 3. So let's actually, I think if we delete one, let me, if I delete one of these here and remove it, this is actually not going to change anything, right? I would expect this to open up and have it go all the way across so that it's it still feels justified center, but now it feels off, right? So I can remove another one, it'll feel really off. And so now we only have 5 left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So if I wanted to make this work with 5, what I'm gonna do is come in here to edit, and I'm gonna come down here to styles, and we can see here I have the images per row, and I want this to be 5. So I'm going to come down here to 5, and now that'll adjust this so it's 5. And we can see, great, so here it is with 5, right? And it's adjusted perfectly. Again, you have a bunch of options inside of this styling panel that are a little bit different per each component. So out of the box, we give you some different stuff that you could do here. If you wanted to make it a little bit bigger, between the spacing bigger, there it is. But that 3 or 2 kind of looks real nice. So we'll go back to 2. And so that's there as well. And then what is another thing that might be helpful to learn, like right out of the box here? I'm just looking through kind of these components. Oh, one that's good to know is about our forms. So inside of here, if I click on this contact section, I can open it up here. And start to actually edit this form. So you can see that we have a form component inside of this contact section, right? So I can open it up here, or I can actually just click on you can see as I highlight this, it says form right there. I can click on this and we can add a section. We can go like this and add a field here. I can also add the field by clicking like something like this. So I might click and add a text area. So maybe we want an email, and now it says please describe. So inside of here we'll say like your message, and then we'll name this message, and description we'll say label will say message. And at this point I have this little label up here, but this one doesn't have a label. So maybe I want to get rid of this label because I think it looks a little funny. So I can just click on this text area itself, and boom, it's opened. Because I had this opened, it goes right to it. Otherwise I'd click on this edit, and I can click on hide label, and now it hides that, right? I can make this a required field if I'd want, and I can again come back in and start to add in as many of these sections as I'd want to this form. So maybe I want to add in a select box. Now I have the select box, I'm hiding it. We have the cities, and we have New York, San Francisco, and let's add in a third one. So we have our third option of Chicago. And then what we can do here is change this default value to select a city, and we'll see this update here, right? And then we can leave this as label city. If you remove this label of city, you won't see it here. This will show up as basically unknown. And now what folks will have the ability to do is you can click on that preview button right up here in the corner, and it'll allow you to play with the site. So if you click on this, it'll give them the ability to select all those. And if we wanted to change this from sign up, we can come in back in. I think we could actually click on the button itself. Yeah, and then it'll take us right here, and we can say like send message, and boom, now it says send message, right? The other cool thing that I had clicked on here was preview. So if we wanted to see what this looks like on mobile, we can come up here, click on mobile, and now we get, okay, cool, this looks pretty good on mobile. All our components are mobile friendly out of the box. We also can see what it looks like on tablet, and we can obviously work like how we were previously. Once you are ready to publish the site, which means take everything that we've built here and actually push it to the live site so that it's viewable, you can come up here and click on publish, and just click on publish pending changes, and it will go to the live site. Out of the box, your site uses is available on this this link here. You can obviously link that to a custom domain, but out of the box it looks like this. So you can see here I've made a bunch of changes, and we're on the home page right now, right? So the home page here in the preview, what we're working with inside of Stackbit's Visual Site Builder, it has this green. There's nothing here that's green because we haven't published these changes yet. So if I come in here and I click publish pending changes, we'll let this publish, and then once this publishes, we'll see it update here on the live site. So I'll actually pause the video and we'll come back once it publishes, which usually takes like 30 seconds or so. All right, cool. So I can see that it published. My button went to green here, and you can see that there's no more loading. It says published less than a minute ago. So now I can come back in here, and I'm just going to refresh my page, and boom, right? Now we've published, and we have our live site up and running. So this is the background of kind of how you can utilize everything within Stackbit's site builder. There's one last thing that I overlooked here that's really important and worth kind of talking about. So if I navigate over here to the blog, and let me jump over to a blog post itself. So inside of this blog post, I opened the image. We can see this person's name is Desmond Eagle, right? So if we go into the CMS, what's the CMS panel about? If we want to navigate to any of the blog posts and start to edit them, we can edit them from right here, right? If I wanted to edit virtual benefits, I can come in, click the excerpt and start to edit, click the content and actually edit the content of the blog post. And this is our Markdown editor that you can actually use to insert images, links, lists, quotes, bold, everything you might want in a page, right? This renders this content down here. But one of the other things that's really cool here is you can see like this has an author name to it. This post of convert commute time, right? And so inside of here, we'll see here's the author of Desmond Eagle. So if I wanted to, what I can do is I can come in and let's find another one that's written by Desmond. So Hillary, let's actually make this first one by Desmond. So I can click on author and add Desmond as an author, right? So we have these authors listed. I can also add a new author if I would want of Ryland or whoever I might add, and that will be available, right? It'll be a component that's available across any place where the author object is actually used. So I'm going to click select and we'll add Desmond here. So right, we have Desmond here and in this commute. So I'm actually going to change Desmond's name from the panel here, or I can change it visually here, but anywhere that Desmond is used, it will be updated. So I'm going to change it to Zach, and we'll click here and let it update, and boom, you saw this update. We are updating this on a different blog post, right? What great startups do differently, but it updated everywhere that Desmond is used across the entire site, which is wonderful because now we don't have to go to every single page where we know Desmond is used and update it and make that change. We have one reference point where we can actually make these changes happen. So if I click on see preview here, it'll move us over to the oh, sorry, I mixed this up. Well, let's just go to it this way. If we click on this here and we click on see preview, here it is, convert commute time to family time, and we can see it's by Zach. Again, I can update this again from here and say Alex. And now Alex will be the name where we thought Desmond was throughout the whole thing. So inside of here, it's now Alex, right? And we can also come into the CMS and we can see here is the person's object, and we can add and change it from here as well. This is another way that we can get to it, right? So this CMS gives us the ability to really see things used across the entire site and kind of navigate to different items quickly, and also how the kind of structured content is reusable across all the different pages. So one last look for me to make sure we covered everything here, or mostly everything, to get you really up and running, and I think we did. So feel free to get rolling however you want, and I hope this is very, very helpful.